Okay, I'm telling you guys, this is really embarrassing. But
No, it's not.
I'm
No,
gonna
no, you're a good sport.
You are.
You really
Nothing
are.
but.
That is so.
okay, now I want you, like I said, I really
Wait.
don't play guitar, but we
Here's
have a
one for
guitar
the
in the house.
website.
Okay,
Yeah, Joan.
this is,
Here comes
I cannot believe you.
guys, turn the things off.
No,
As I-
don't do it.
Wait. As I look at the pictures, letters that you wrote to me. I know, oh, come on, guys. I am thinking
Yay!
of inside. Never mind.
Oh,
No. Okay, well, but years and years ago,
We will sing
long
along.
before, you will, trust me, long before there were, these multi-screen cinemas and there was 3D and surround sound and stuff, every town had its own little movie theater. And all these little movie theaters had, like a single screen, and every Saturday, everybody would go to the matinee. It was like 25 cents. Usually they'd see these movies that were like B movies, and among the most popular of them were Westerns. And way back in the day, among the most popular Westerns were the Singing Cowboys. Roy Rogers, Gene Autry, Tex Ritter, those guys, every Saturday they'd be up on the screen, wearing a white hat, and usually you'd find them out on the range, and they'd be out there, and just regular working cowboys, and along would come some bad guy. The bad guy invariably be cutting fences, or rustling cattle, or robbing banks, or doing all three. And our good guy would always catch the bad guy in the act, always beat him up, there'd be a big fight, and then after the thing was done, the cowboy, the hero, would get up on his horse, sometimes with a girl, and he'd sing a song, and they were real popular. Well, of course, they don't do that anymore. But they get so popular that people wanted to sort of see it in real life. And so in the summertime, people would go to these dude ranches all over the country. In New York, they had the Catskills, and out west, they had the Rockies, and people would go out there, and they'd go horseback riding, and they'd take hay rides, or they'd go on cookouts and things like that. And every week, every Saturday night, they'd have a campfire. And the staff, the folks, they'd all get up there, and they'd entertain the guests. And among the things that they would do was they'd sing a couple of songs, but they couldn't fight, and HR wouldn't let them kiss a girl. So they ended up usually telling a tale, telling some kind of story, which reminds me of my dog when I was growing up, Amos. I had this great dog, it was Amos, and Amos wasn't a very smart dog, wasn't a very fast dog, wasn't a very, very strong dog, but Amos was a loving dog. And Amos and I spent all our time together. He never nipped at anybody, he never bit anything. If he ever found a rabbit or something, he'd lick it to death. I mean, he was just a friendly dog. You may not know this, but in New Mexico, there's a lot of wild bears. The state animal is the black bear. In fact, there was a fire, a forest fire, just south of Albuquerque back in 1950.
John, turn this way.
And there was after the fire, a park ranger went in there and found this little baby bear cub clinging to a tree and had been burnt pretty badly. And the poor cub's mother had perished in the fire, so the park ranger took this bear cub back and nursed it back to health, made it well, adopted it, later named it Smokey Bear. And Smokey Bear, of course, was later became the National Parks, or the forest fire's symbol. So Smokey Bear, like Amos, you remember Amos, this is a story about Amos. Smokey Bear and Amos both come from the Albuquerque area. Anyway, long time ago, Amos and I were hiking in the woods one day. We were up in the mountains in it's an arroyo, which is like a dry creek bed. It's almost like a little canyon. We were hiking along, just minding our own business, having a great time. I'd throw rocks and the dog wouldn't chase him or anything because he wasn't a very smart dog. Anyway, we're walking along, and out of nowhere, from behind a boulder, not any further away than Pat is from me, out stepped this great big bear. And I'm like, I'm fast, but there's no way I can outrun a bear. Now, bears are usually about as skittish, and they don't like to spend any more time with people than we like to spend time with bears. But this bear was the exception. This bear not only was coming towards me, he looked hungry. And I'm thinking, this is it, I'm dead. My parents are going to be finding bits and pieces of me all over the mountains for the next couple of years. So,
How old were you?
I was in my teens.
Is this true?
Anyway, I'm like stuck, and I'm thinking this bear is coming at me. What am I going to do? And out of the corner of my eye, I just see this shot, and there's Amos, and he just flings himself right at this bear, and he jumps right there, and the bear grabs him, and they start tussling, and I'm thinking Amos is giving me a way out. I can now hightail it out of there. The problem is, of course, Amos is going to get eaten. And so without thinking, I run right into there too. And I'm up there, and there's this dog barking and howling and screaming, and the bear's like, you can smell his breath, and he's tussling. And the next thing I know, the bear's got Amos like in a bear hug with one arm, and he's backing up like he's going back towards his cave. And so I grab the bottom of Amos, because that's all I could get hold of, and I'm trying to stay away from this bear, and I start pulling on Amos. And I've got the bottom, and the bear's got the top, and he's backing up, and I'm only a couple feet. And the next thing I know, I'm pulling on his leg, just like I'm pulling yours.
Good story till then.
Guys, we're gonna have to sing this song together. Everybody,
Sing along.
well, hey! This is a participant audience, guys. This is an audience participation song. Everybody sing
Okay.
this.
All right.
On 3. But you only have to go join in the chorus. It's either 1, 2, 3, 4. It's pretty simple. You know, it's like the national anthem of Texas. Everybody knows it. Or if I do your PDS or if you're feeling brave, you have to sing the chorus with me. So here we go, and I'm going to really try this. The stars at night, big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas. The prairie sky, wide and high, deep in the heart of Texas. The sage in bloom smells like perfume, deep in the heart of Texas. Reminds me of the one I love, deep in the heart of Texas. All right, that's it.